All right. So welcome everyone once again with KNR Ignite Solutions. Like I mentioned in our community, you are going to get the daily knowledge updates as well at free of cost. So even whether you enrolled with us or not enrolled with us, once you become part of our community, you are welcome to get all the updates related to SAP and S4 HANA and FICO and other modules as well. So what are the trends? What are the other changes happening? And all the CPA sessions that I mentioned earlier, which we are going to continue, those sessions also, you guys also can be part of it. Okay, you will get all that communication and everything. I'll share you the links for this also later in the same number that you received already the communication, how to join that communities and everything. I'll keep sharing that information so that you will enjoy that. So I also started the recent newsletter. I don't know how many of you been following it. The newsletter is all about starting understanding about the basic things in your SAP, right? So I just started 100 days of a learning journey. Those who wanted to learn anything from SAP, right? It particularly focusing more on FICO is the major goal for this newsletter. And in upcoming newsletters, I might include more topics, but for now, FICO is the major goal that I have included. Somebody who wanted to follow that, I'll share that link also, which is available on the LinkedIn. If you guys go through the LinkedIn under KNR Ignite Solutions, you'll be able to find this newsletter. I'll also share you that link later so that you guys can easily follow that and see the latest articles, what I have so far written. Okay. Maybe for you to get some understanding what exactly this new newsletter is all about, I can quickly share some idea about it so that you guys also will get some idea and just have a quick look about it. Okay. The newsletter name called SAP FICO Basic to Advanced. Here, so we are going to share daily one article. You might receive someday in the beginning of the day. So this was the yesterday's article that I have written about life cycle of requirement gathering. Whenever you start gathering a requirement until you complete that requirement, how it is going to flow through your consulting journey. What as a consultant you will be working on, what will be your responsibilities, how you are going to utilize the systems to complete that business requirement. This is what I have explained in yesterday's session. If I go back to our newsletter, you will see other articles that I have already given. Let's say there are total 5 articles so far I just started. Today's article is at day 5 article 41 minutes ago, which I just posted. So you see this, there's a understanding different types of projects like greenfield project, rollout, upgrade, support. In our sessions also, we are going to cover all this stuff. You will understand all that, what and all you are supposed to learn as a consultant. All this information is also available for all the community members in a short size articles for them to read through so that they can catch up well. And along with these articles, what I'll be doing is I was doing earlier the daily quiz to make you aware or to understand so far how much you are aware about it, about SAP that you have already learned it. Somebody who is preparing for interviews, for example, and what kind of questions has been asked in interviews. I used to create a quiz based on that interview questions, and I circulate that in our YouTube channel and LinkedIn and all the forums. If you guys get a chance to go through YouTube, go to KNR Ignite Solutions, and under the posts, you will be able to find all that content that I'm mentioning it. If you see this KNR Ignite Solutions, under post section, you will find videos, shorts, everything, right? Under post, you will find all the interview questions related, what I have circulated earlier. I used to give daily quiz, one important interview question that has been asked in previous interviews by top MNCs, and along with the answer the next day. This is kind of as it is a quiz. First, I would encourage you to start answering it. Once you look into the question and start commenting your answer, then the next day you will see answer to that question. I'll explain in detail what exactly the answer for that question also. Answer will have very detailed answer, something like this. Okay. Somebody who wanted to utilize that, you can also use this kind of questions and articles. Everything is available. Like I mentioned, all this is at free of cost for all our members. No other additional charges that I'm going to charge once you become member of our community. Okay, that's most important thing for you to understand. Okay. All right. Now let's get into our content, what we wanted to discuss as a part of FICO course that you are going to learn, right? Whenever we say we wanted to learn FICO course, in FICO course, what are the things that you are going to learn, what you are supposed to learn, and how you need to prepare your journey, and what are the opportunities that you can expect. All these things we'll discuss now so that you will have some idea what exactly you are preparing and what you're supposed to prepare and all this stuff. Okay. Now let me get into this, the particularly uh, everything, all the expectations, whatever you guys have it, I believe you are going to clarify with this one. Okay. So let me take you through this. So let me know when you see my full screen of this. Okay. I hope you guys can see this. Okay. Let's understand what is SAP FICO. So far, whoever has some idea about it, what do you understand by FICO? What do you think it is? Any answers or any guesses that you are aware about it? What is FICO?
FICO is finance and controlling. It deals with totally financials.
Mhm. Very good. So FICO is all about your financial accounting and controlling. So like we discussed yesterday, in functional modules, there are two separate modules called FI and CO, right? So when you see this FI and CO, financial accounting that deals with external reporting requirement, and controlling module is another vast module that is going to deal with internal reporting. Whenever you wanted to learn FICO, so generally we call this together, but however, it is not so easy for you to learn together at the same time, unless you are already expert or been working in as a consultant in one of the modules. Because first time learners, it takes some time. Honestly, at least you need to allow yourself 3 to 4 months of time to understand, practice, and everything. That's a minimum time. Depending on your time that you are spending, how you are understanding, you need to spend more time on this to see more about it. Let's say what I'm saying here. Okay, I think I'm putting it here. We discussed yesterday, right? This functional modules, we have a multiple functional modules. Under that, we have FI and CO separately. Those are the two modules we are talking about now. FI itself will take decent amount of time for us to understand. CO takes another similar amount of time or more time than FI to learn. Somebody who wanted to learn together, spend your time carefully and plan it accordingly. Don't have it too much of expectation. I'll start a FICO course from April 1st, let's say, for example, and I'll be able to complete in 3 months. I'll get in a fourth month job. That is not a reality. So you need to allow yourself to understand, consume all this data and apply practically. Only when you start applying practically, then you will be able to perform this. In our trainings, how are you going to get that practical knowledge? What I'll do, I'll explain all the conceptual knowledge and I'll provide one example and we will work on one scenario. Then I'll give you multiple scenarios for you to practice. When you practice that real examples, what generally we do in projects, that will make you understand or feel comfortable with what you're supposed to work actually in the projects. At least that will trigger you where you need to go forward, right? That is how you need to start looking into it. What we will do, we'll go in the same style. I'll explain the conceptual knowledge and I'll also do practically the configuration of the system. I'll pick up one scenario and explain how to do that. It's not about that I'll pick simple or a hard scenario. I'll pick some ideal scenario generally in all the organizations how we implement it. Similar scenarios, I'll also give you for you to practice. There might be some difficult scenarios as well where you need to go through them and give an attempt. Most probably you can complete, and some scenarios you may not be able to complete. That is okay. At least give a try. If you try, only then in a next session you will be able to ask questions. I struck here. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do? Maybe you throw me that as a challenge. I'll show you how to do that. If you don't practice, there will not be any questions. I know that because you cannot ask questions because you haven't practiced it. So with that intent, what will happen? So you will feel the overall content as like a difficult. Don't make content, whatever we are discussing, as a difficult. Make it more comfortable for you. To make you comfortable, what you need to do? You need to make sure you need to practice enough. You need to spend the time. Only then you will feel that. If you don't spend that enough time to understand and practice it parallelly, then it is a quite common thing. We will tend to forget. We will tend to find difficult. Whenever there is a backlog pile up, whenever you are practicing, you will see that. I would strongly recommend not to have our backlogs. Backlog in the sense, whatever the concept that we are discussing and the assignments that I'm giving in with the timeline that I'm going to mention, try to finish that. The timelines that I'm going to give you is not at all a tight deadline. I'll give you enough time for you to complete based on all the experience that I have seen. So far, I have done multiple batches and I have seen multiple students, the slow learner, quick learner, experienced person, fresher, graduates, everybody. So by considering all this, you will get enough time. No need to worry about that. But only thing you need to put your personal effort, your personal planning, personal time commitment planning, you need to plan it the right way. Okay, that you take care about it. So then what you will do, we'll continue with that and see what and all you need to learn. In SAP FICO, SAP is one of the ERP systems. What is ERP again? We'll talk very deep about all ERP and everything, when ERP started, what and all other ERP systems are there, why SAP, all that we'll talk again. Now, SAP is an ERP system. In this ERP system, FICO is one of the module for you to simply understand. So look at this way and see whenever you wanted to see this, this is an ERP system. And this one, let's say, I would say, is one of the modules. FICO is a module in your SAP environment, right? So now let me put this way. SAP is your ERP system. FICO is your one of the module within your SAP. Okay. So each module is referred to as one department in an organization. I have multiple departments where I am dealing with various activities, various operations that we are doing it. I'm not talking about doctor operations. It is operations in the sense your regular activities in your company. There is a finance operations, finance function, or you call it as a function. Each function is one module here. So finance function, HR function, IT function, admin function, your procurement function. There are multiple functions that you come across in your organizations. All those are termed as modules in SAP. In SAP, whenever you talk about it, now you see multiple modules in SAP depending on your actual requirement. Now all we need to understand which module that I'm currently working with. Okay, so depending on which function that you wanted to join, you also need to decide based on your areas of interest, which areas you are more interested. Are you interested more towards finance and accounting? Then you can go for FICO. If your interest is something like, I don't want to get into finance and accounting, which is like not my cup of tea, then I wanted to explore something related to HR related, then you go for HCM or success factors. Or somebody who is more interested like a coding, I wanted to become expert in terms of technical side. I don't want to see all this functional side. I'm more interested in a bit of technical side. Then you can go for any technical modules like a BAP or a basis. Somebody who wanted to become mix of it. I wanted to become techno-functional. I think if I remember, Satish mentioned yesterday, he wanted to become a techno-functional guy. Then if that is the goal for somebody, you guys can say that you can go for multiple modules. Here you need to learn a bit of functional knowledge, the how at a high level it works, and a bit of your technical knowledge. Try to learn both and mix both the knowledge depending on your time frame and plan your goals. In the next 6 months or 1 year, I wanted to finish both the modules, then go for it. Then it will help you. That's how we need to choose specifically. Apart from this, somebody has any different questions. I wanted to pursue something, still I am not sure, not clear in my mind how to choose my module. Feel free to connect with me on these numbers that you see on the screen. I'll be able to help you by taking your one-on-one mentoring session. I'll consider that one-on-one mentoring for you. We will discuss only you and me about your all the questions. Then I'll clarify your questions. Then you can take a test. You don't need to enroll for the sessions in a hurry and later regret for it, but you decide only after all the clarifications. In case you need any help from me, particularly to clarify some questions, I'm happy to help you on one-on-one and we can discuss about it. Okay. And then the further to continue, let's say what kind of jobs you can expect once you learn FICO. This is something that we need to understand. So whenever we learn FICO, what can I expect, right? Generally, those who are learning our course is aiming to make you consultant, which is FICO consultant. If you are somebody who is planning to become SAP FICO consultant, the content that we are going to cover is going to be very apt. If somebody's goal is to become something else, not a consultant, still we need to understand what else other roles can I do it by learning this. There are many other roles like business analyst role. This business analyst or SME from a business operations side. You are not implementation side, but other side you can still you can sit and play as a SME role. Somebody who is already there as a good amount of experience and they wanted to act as an SME. This SME will act between as a bridge between consultant versus and your business users. They will understand from both the side and they will share the knowledge for both of them. Okay. In that case, what happens? So this SMEs will understand business requirement and let consultant know that this is what business is expecting. Then consultant will say that, hey, this is not possible because of the complexity, or this has various other things for you to change it. Then your SME in a position to interpret and understand very clearly because they know system side of it. They have already seen, but they are not doing the configuration directly. And they can explain it back to the business user. These are the challenges involved, but we need to think about it before we do this in a system. That way, they will act as a bridge between both. These are business analysts. These analysts are expert people who comes with end user experience. Now they also comes with a bit of this consulting knowledge. They understand the system technicalities better. And consultants, considering their time frame and the end users' timelines, they may not be able to meet each other. Now this kind of business analyst will act as a bridge. And apart from that, somebody who wanted to work as an end users, this will become very familiar to you. But somebody who wanted to join as an end user, I would recommend not to spend so much of time and money or invest so much on this course just to become an end users. Okay, that's a quite common thing. You no need to spend so much money and time unless you don't know anything in SAP that you are aiming to start your end user role for the first time. Maybe you can think about it. Otherwise, that is not really need to spend so much of time to learn because we are going deep to make you consultant level. So end users may not be doing all that. So it is not required. Or somebody's goal is to become a consultant in a long run. Maybe you can think about it. Okay. So there are majorly like consulting roles, like a functional consultant you can become, or somebody who wanted to aim for a techno-functional consultant. Also, this course is going to be helpful. And somebody who wanted to become a bridge between business and the consulting team or the implementation teams, they can also learn this course. Somebody who wanted to become end users, I would say it's a low priority for them to pick up this course. Okay. Not only from here, anywhere that you are doing it. Now, in getting into the course side, what we are going to learn, how we are going to learn. We'll learn about what is ECC, what is S4HANA, everything later. In our course, we are going to touch base with ECC also to make you understand what was there in ECC, what is there in S4HANA now. Certainly, we are going to majorly focus on S4HANA to learn with the latest version of 2023 for a practice also. We'll use S4HANA along with Fury applications, and we'll also touch base on ECC to understand what was there in ECC, what is the delta between both the systems. That will give you some idea to understand. Not too many changes, but when you are start learning S4HANA directly and go back and look into the old version of it, you can easily relate what it means, what you're supposed to know. Whenever there is a migration project happening, or conversion project happening from ECC to S4 upgrades happening, as a consultant, we need to have that basic understanding. At least you should know what does that mean in ECC. That level of knowledge, you can easily get it from our course. Now, most of you know that ECC is going to end or SAP is going to stop supporting ECC by when? Anybody have this research about this? By when SAP is going to stop all the support for ECC? Anybody heard about it?
Maybe 27, 28.
By 27 is what they announced.
Yeah.
Maybe slightly they can extend depending on the demand, but however, right? So they will not extend it too far because of a lot of S4 HANA options available. Now the companies are slowly moving towards S4 HANA. So what happens? SAP announced about sunset of the CCC long back. So they are about to sunset by 25 or 26, but again they extended until 27. Don't expect again it will extend, keep on extending it. There might be a possible extension for a short period of time. Whenever it is a short period of time, there is already majority of the companies are migrating. You guys also might heard about it. There is a S4 HANA implementation happening. We are looking for a consultant for S4 HANA implementation with ECC and S4 knowledge, right? Now, strongly, I would also recommend start learning S4 HANA straight away rather than you spend only ECC. Later, people will say that you can easily learn S4 HANA later. Now, learning ECC now for the next 3 to 4 months and spend another 3 months for your practice, altogether like a 6 to 9 months of journey, you will almost reach to 27, right? We are already at a 26 April, close to April, right? Tomorrow is April 1st. We're done with 1 quarter, you left with another 3 quarters in the year. And the next year, you will be in a 27. We don't know what will happen, right? So anytime SAP can say that we are not going to give you support for ECC, implementation of ECC projects almost nil. If you consider from today, none of the company is going to start ECC fresh implementation. At least they might need consultants for their support project. What is support project? Once it is implementation is completed, it is already in a life. Now you need to manage that application. That is your AMC. Now that is called support. Companies will start looking into this support until they migrate it, right? That is a short period of time again. Again, you need to put additional effort to learn S4 HANA. That's another version. People will say that you learn now ECC, you can easily learn S4 HANA later. But my version, you start learning S4 HANA straight away because there is no ECC implementation going to happen in future because SAP is sunsetting their ECC application completely very soon. I'm not saying 27 they will completely stop. I'm not sure. Even I'm not an official person to confirm. But with the news so far available, 27 is what they are going to stop. With that, you need to think about for a future. What next? Obviously, either you need to learn S4 HANA or you need to think about it to switch your career into something else. So you decide which one to start with, right? So choice is ours. So there is nothing somebody can influence us. We need to look into the facts, and based on the facts that we need to think about it. Okay. Rather than learn only ECC, I would say, see if there is an option for you to learn both ECC and S4 HANA in the same cost, go for it, right? So here what we'll do, we'll go with S4 HANA and also we'll touch base with ECC for you to understand. Anyway, you need very little knowledge about ECC. You are not going to work with implementation. You need to know the basic things in ECC. That's more than enough. We'll go deep into S4 HANA along with very applications, and then ECC also will touch base so that you will get all this in the same course. There is nothing separate cost or anything for this one. Okay. Now to give you more information, so we'll continue with ECC versus S4 HANA differences, and we'll learn exactly. I'm going to learn S4 HANA here. Okay. And we'll start with in our classes to understand very basic thing at the very beginning thing, how your system landscape is, what is system landscape, and all that we'll discuss in upcoming sessions. But we'll see what do you mean by system landscape. Any organization, whenever you want to implement SAP, there will be a system landscape, that is a system architecture where you do configurations, where you perform testing, where you will perform your operations, the daily day-to-day activities. There are different systems for all these activities. I'll explain you that in detail very clearly. so that you will be aware about it. Okay. So let's see that what exactly it is, what and all you need to understand in a system landscape. Now, further, we will start with implementation project. Wherever you join, whenever you see any job openings, you also can go through job portals and search for it. You will see openings, any project that you are going to join, but they will expect you to have implementation knowledge. Somebody who already tried for jobs or already working as a consultant, you might have fair idea about it. How many openings that you have seen without implementation knowledge? Almost zero, right? Almost all the companies, whenever they are looking for a consultant, they will look for a consultant who has working experience in implementation project. At least one end-to-end implementation is mandatory for your resume to filter it further. If your resume do not show this, high chances that they don't even look at you, because the person who never worked in a implementation project, high likely they believe that they cannot manage any project for them, whether it is a support project or a rollout project or whatever it is. With that intent, what we are doing here to make all the learners more comfortable with implementations, we'll also start same way one end-to-end implementation project. We'll start from the scratch and we'll complete one end-to-end implementation. How you do it practically, we'll start with that and we'll move on to the next project. Once I'm done with implementation project, then I'll jump into the next type of project, that is a rollout project. Rollout is nothing but, maybe you will see these types of projects in my latest articles also what I'm publishing. Along with that, you can also hear here. The rollout project is something, the first company code or a one country or a one line of business that you already implemented. Now you wanted to replicate similar thing for another country or another product line. That is your rollout project. How you are going to do the rollout? What are the things? What are the responsibilities of a consultant in a rollout project? How you need to prepare for yourself? What are the pre-checks that you do it? All that information we'll see in our upcoming sessions. We'll also go through that rollout project. Once you're done with that, there is something called as support projects. So this is a quite common. You see, these are the three things which you generally hear: implementation, your rollout, and support projects. We'll also go with a support project to understand what kind of tools are used in support projects, how you need to understand the tickets or incidents, what is the priority has been given, what is the SLA is all about, how to start looking into your defects or the tickets or change request. There are multiple names. What is the difference between all of them, and how to deliver that requirement, how to gather the requirement, how to convert them into technical things, how you are going to do a customizations in this support projects. You need to work with enhancements or any customizations. What are the things involved in your enhancements? We will understand it. We'll practically do it. And I'll also give you an assignments on certain enhancements for you to work out. I'll also share you the templates required for you to fill in. There is a lot of requirement that you need to prepare. All that documentation as a initially, if you guys may not be aware how to prepare it, I'll also share some standard templates provided by SAP so that you can start filling those standard templates, kind of same documents that you are preparing in the project. Similarly, the same template you will use it, but they will have company logos. Your client logo and the implementation partner logo is what you see. But rest, the template exactly the same. All the sections, everything remains the same. These are the officially shared by SAP. I'll share you all the documentations for your reference, and also you can use those templates wherever you require it. Okay, so you will get all that assignments in our sessions for you to practice on various support things. Then there is testing project. We'll also help you to work on a testing projects if at all there is a requirement for you to work with a testing related. As a consultant, we need to work on various testings. How you are going to work with the testing? What are the things involved? How do you prepare test script? How do you prepare test scenario? All these things we'll understand. Anybody heard about it? The testing projects or worked in testing projects?
When the project is going to live, before we have to test the whether it's so, like, is there any errors?
Exactly, right? So we need to make sure, we need to test the system thoroughly, whether all the configuration that has been done prior is it working exactly as expected or not? If we are not going to test that, then what will happen? It is difficult for us to confirm all the changes, whatever we have performed, whether it is okay or not, whether it has any other challenges. As a consultant, what we need to make sure, we need to confirm that we are confirming all the changes correctly, it is working, right? Now that is called your testing project. In a testing project, we are going to work with either directly or you need to make other consultants to test it. It can be anything. Now you need to aware how to do this. Only then you can get others done this work. If you want somebody to perform this, if that person is also not aware, ultimately you need to guide them. You cannot say that I don't know, you do it, right? They might ask you, can you show me one? I will take it further. Your manager also will tell you, there is no other go for you. Whether there is a challenge or some issue, you have to show him. There is no other option. For that, at least, we need to be comfortable. We will make you that comfortability by taking testing project also into consideration. I'll share the strategy, the testing strategy, what and all testings that we perform, including your system integration test, functional unit test, UATs, which is user acceptance test, and all these types of tests. When do we perform regression? When do we perform performance test? All this we need to understand. As a consultant, how you perform this testing, I have seen people, so they are struggling to perform testing also. People think that testing is easy. But if you don't have a clue what to do, how to do, this will also become difficult, right? We need to have that understanding, common understanding. Where to begin, where to end. What is my scope? What is not my scope? Whenever there is a regression test, what are the things to do it in regression? We need to be aware. When it is a performance test, you need to be aware what to do. All that we'll talk about in our testing project. Even before the testing project, we will introduce all the terminology. Whenever you get into the testing phase, it's like a consultant, you are already just reaching to the testing phase and you will be in a position to independently do all the testings. Okay. So that's how we'll structure our course in upcoming sessions. Then most importantly, we'll also see migration projects. This migration projects is something initially, whenever you are migrating from legacy system to SAP system, you will have a huge data. That is what we discussed in a prior session. Whenever you have a huge data in legacy system, why you have a huge data? Because the business, whoever is implementing SAP, is not a startup company. Is not they established their company just in 25 or 26 years. And I mean, not 2025 and 2026. They started their business at least 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, even prior to that. Maybe some companies who started their business 40 years, 50 years back, now they are migrating to SAP. So far, they managed with many other ERP systems. They were not aware whether SAP is going to be really useful for them or not. After all the analysis and research, they decided now to go ahead and use SAP. Now think about it, the business, whoever been there in the industry for this many years so far, how much data they will have, how many customers they have, how many vendors they have, what is the transactions that they perform so far, how much tax they pay to the government year on year, and all that information is important. You need to make sure all that data is migrated into SAP also. Particularly in a migration project, whenever we talk about that, or even before that, we'll also touch base about how migrations will happen. What exactly you need to do on a migration. We'll talk about that migration as well. Okay. So you will have an idea how to do a migration, what and all activities you perform in a migration. As a consultant, if you are migrating from ECC to S4, what are the things that you need to consider? If you are migrating from non-SAP to SAP, what are the things you need to consider? There are multiple things that you need to consider depending on the source, depending on your legacy system. If your legacy is also SAP, there are different set of activities you need to perform. If your legacy is a non-SAP, you need to perform various things. What are those? You need to understand. Okay, we'll discuss all that in detail in our migration projects. Okay, those are the types of projects at least we'll go through during our sessions whenever we talk about our training sessions. As far as our training is concerned, we'll go through all these type of projects one by one slowly so that you will get familiarity with all the projects, all the type of projects, what is your responsibilities, how to work with that. Okay. So far, That's about the quick thing about your course, how it is going to be structured. Apart from that, what else you can expect from this course? From this course, you can expect we will share all the class recordings. Once you confirm the registrations with the paid participants, we'll share all the recordings. Along with, you will also get access to these live sessions to attend. You receive all the recordings. On the same day, I'll share the recordings. And these recordings you can refer as a revision and everything. The class notes that I'm preparing here on Excel that you see, these notes as it is, I'll share with you all so that you guys also can make your own notes if required, or you can refer this for your further reference. This you can keep it as your class notes. Okay. And I'll also help you with your interview preparation overall. What is overall preparation required, including your resume preparation, how to finalize your resume, how you need to prepare resume depending on the roles. That also I can help you. And also I'll take a mock interviews towards a little end of our sessions, because until then you may not require it. So once you say that I'm ready, I wanted to give a try in for a real interviews, I'll take a mock interviews and share feedback where you are exactly standing. And I'll also share a feedback about what and all you need to fill the gaps before you go for a next interview. This mock interviews also I'll take it personally and one-on-one. And we will also have a group interviews, which means we will also discuss about various interview materials and the interview stuff. Maybe somebody who attended interview, they wanted to share their experience. I'll invite them, maybe from one of you or my previous students from previous batches or alumni, whoever is attending interviews, they will also share their knowledge. They also will understand about it. Okay. Then I'll also give you the assignments and the project. So towards the end, you need to perform one end-to-end project. So which covers all the learning, which is like a summarizing all the learning that we have done from the class one until the last class. We'll combine everything as a big project. It's a think about like your academics, what you have seen, one project you complete at end of your final semesters, right? Similarly, you need to complete one end-to-end implementation along with your migration and everything. I'll mix it and I'll ask you to complete one project so that you are aware what you can get it. So overall, if you think about it, it takes approx 3 months time minimum, and it can go slightly additional few more days. Okay, it will plus or minus. It maybe I would say only plus. It will not reduce. Maybe additional 20 to 30 days. It will increase our course total duration. And along with that, like I mentioned, you will also get all the recordings and all the interview preparation support, including your resume prep and your mock interviews and any doubt clarification, everything, either in a classes or one-on-one, you will get everything. Okay. And then most importantly, you can also expect the project. So this is what typically we cover in our entire course. So from coming Monday, so before Monday, I would request all of you to decide yourself whether it is going to be a nice forum for you to continue or not. Your decision is respected. There is no questions asked why you don't want to continue. It's up to your choice, right? So you decide before Monday, in the sense during this weekend. If you decide and confirm during the weekend, from Monday, I'm going to share a new link with all the paid participants or the confirmed participant, so that only those can attend going forward from the Monday. For the rest of the days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, for the remaining 3 more days, you all can attend free classes. To see, from tomorrow, we'll start the live actual classes of our project. We'll start with direct classes. There is no more introduction or anything about it. We'll straight away jump into organization structure and understand what exactly it is. Okay. Then you will see what exactly you're supposed to learn, what you are learning, everything we will discuss there. Okay. So that's our course structure. So far we have it. Now I'll open this forum for you guys to clarify any doubts that you have about the course or the job opportunities, whether it is right thing or not for you to do it. Any doubts that you have it, do let me know so that I can clarify all your doubts so that you will be aware about anything that I can help you guys. Whoever has anything, do let me. Don't hesitate to ask anything that you feel like. There is nothing like a silly or whatever. Every question is valid as long as you guys are uh, not comfortable with to confirm. Anything that you wanted to know about the course or a course structure or anything else, I'm happy to help.